author, romance suspense author of over 60 books. And today tonight, it is night. I'm going to talk about my reading day. I was going to vlog this whole day, but it turned out where I didn't. Of course, it's another day that I didn't, but I have after notes of the whole day. So it's going on 10 o'clock at night, and I still have a long night to go, but I wanted to get into what happened. So, this week has been a whirlwind of just a literary life, and I haven't had this much busyness in my life in a long time. And I'm happy and kind of scared and kind of everything's like coming into, when you feel your blessings or manifestations coming into you, you get this fear, but then you have to get through that fear in order to reach the goal that you want to go to. So all this week I've had meetings, Zooms, interviews, uh, accolades about the audiobook that I am producing with Delilah's Desire, which is available on ebook now, but we're coming out with the audiobook in October, and we did book one, and now we're doing book two, me and my husband. That's what I mean. And I have alpha listeners who are listening to the book, and I'm getting accolades about it. So it's a joint effort between me and my husband, and I feel so good about that. And then on top of that, I'm the mentors or people that I have in my life who I feel like are doing better than me, or in positions of better than me, are coming in and giving me accolades on just the work that I'm doing behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see that I do. And like I always say, everybody wants to be the light bulb, but no one wants to be the filament. And I think other people can see people who are above us, and we think that we're alone in our endeavors, but there are people who are always watching. And it's funny how your name can be spoken in rooms that you have not even walked into, and when you find out that your name has been spoken in, and you're like, they know about me, that brings like a lot of just wonderful pleasure to your soul to know that you're being thought of. I hear bumping, but I got the alarm on, so I'm not worried. So, anyways, so anyways, so today was a busy day. I had an early Zoom meeting, and then later on that today I had a writing workshop. And this is the notes from first the early Zoom meeting, which was with a company that I have admired for a long time, and I got to speak to their top person about concerns I had, and asking them to come and talk with my group, and just to be able to have this one-on-one with this person and knowing what position she was in was just an honor. To be able to sit there and and her want to listen to my story, my writing story, and how I got into writing was a blessing. But the after notes of my writing workshop, and then after that I felt like I was high on life, of course, but of course I got a nap in because I knew I had to do a lot of work tonight. And then my after notes for my workshop. So today I did a workshop on writer's block. And I want to thank Kelly for having me for her Grow group, a woman's group that is really empowering women in all education aspects. And I appreciate her inviting me to talk about this. But I talked about the process of how to start a book, how to get over the blockage in when you're in the middle of the book, and then how to actually end your story. And I go through the writing techniques of the hero's journey, how to outline your book if it's nonfiction, and things like that. But I get to kind of push out like the stories that I've written, and I want to just kind of give a pat on my back, because when I do these, I don't really see how far I've come in terms of being a writer of over 65 books, published books, and then knowing that I have like hundreds more to go in my head that are really good stories that need to be put out. And when I do these, I really can reflect on, Sylvia, you've done a really good job in terms of making sure that, you are bringing really good books to life. And then you're also helping others bring books to life. Um, One thing I did learn in my whole journey of being a writer is that in order to become the master, you have to be a teacher, because you really can't. And even Einstein said you really cannot learn something unless you can teach it to other people. And it's really humbling that I am able to stand in front of a crowd and be able to uh, teach people how to write a story. Even people who didn't have a thought of writing a story are encouraged after they listen to me to want to write a story. So that just makes me really happy about, where I am in my life and the journey that I have been taken on, and to be able to turn around and teach people to write a story, and people who had no idea or didn't even think about wanting to put a pen to paper were in their listening, and now they felt encouraged and empowered to want to sit down and put a story on paper, and teaching them how to get over that fear, and teaching them how to persevere even when they feel tired from the day, and even when you just don't want to go on, and just teaching them how to get around the giving them tips and tricks of how to keep encouraged, go through those hard parts in the story, and be able to hit the end. Because you can't do you can do something with something, but you can't do nothing with nothing. So just put the story on page, and then let the editor figure everything out, and then go from there. And I kind of gave them that encouragement. And it was just a really good, these are just my afterthoughts of it. And it just giving myself a pat on the back of showing that I have come a long way in terms of bringing stories to life, and to be able to turn around and teach people and give them that kind of, infect them with that encouragement. It's just a blessing to be able to do that. So that was my afterthoughts. What I'm going to be doing the rest of the night, and I know it's like 10 o'clock at night, and usually people are going to bed, but unfortunately I am a night owl, and this is when I start to get my groove in. 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, I'm wide awake. So I'll probably be putting some more words on the page for my current book that I'm going through, is Her Substitute Husband, His Boss. And it's just the first draft, and what I'll be doing is in September you'll be able to actually read it live as I go through. You can read it as I write it all the way, and I'm just kind of getting the ideas on paper and saying this is how it's going to be, and then basically hitting it out the park in September. So if you join me on my website, you can see the story up to a point for free, and then you have to be a member to see the rest. So I hope you can join me on my website at sylviahubbard.com September 1st as we venture into Her Substitute Husband, His Brothers. So thank you guys for tuning in. And, this was kind of like a personal thing, a personal way of telling myself, Sylvia, you're doing a good job. And sometimes we do have to give ourselves a pat on the back every once in a while, and just to let us know, like, no matter what the world is telling you, or your competition is doing, or what everybody else is doing or saying about you, it just doesn't matter, because you're doing the best job that you can do. And it really shows, because people can see that in your work and in your teaching. So thank you guys for joining me. You guys have a great night. Bye.